Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, the man with the world's biggest knife collection plans a huge charity sell-off. We'll talk about that. In the state of the collection, I get my first send cut, and I'm pretty psyched about it. And then we're going to talk about, are you buying Russian knives? This is a topic that was inspired by a recent Cutlery Lover video where he got in a CKF a knife and he really liked it, and he just posed the question: Are people walking away from Russian knives or boycotting Russian knives, if you will, or does the knife community transcend world politics and policy and all that stuff? So we'll talk about that, and then we're going to have an interesting knife fight. Actually, Russian knives versus Chinese knives, and I do understand there's quite a bit of crossover there, just like there is when you say American knives and Chinese knives. But we'll talk about that. Sunbun Bradley, good to see you. No way, I will definitely not buy a Russian knife. They are worthless to me. Don't mince your words, Sunbun. How do you really feel? No, I'm just kidding. See, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. People have obviously thought about this, and people obviously have, their thoughts on it. And Mike Flamian's thought is, I think, is that a? I think that's what that is. Mikey Polakal, good to have you here. Mikey Polkal. Should I buy a Shiro? I mean, I would. Okay. I guess I'll get to how I feel about it in a little while, but to me, I would. I'm quite sure Mr. Shirogorov had nothing to do with this invasion, but I don't know. I hear Shirogorovs are really not very good knives and not very smooth. And no, I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm very curious about Shirogorov. Never had one, but I kind of think you should. I have Russian knife videos on my channel, says Yoda Doug's tool collecting channel. If I had Russian knives, I indeed would too. I've been there's that one right now, that clip point CKF Microtech. I don't know what it's called, but that collaboration knife to me is so cool. And they've done a lot of, CK Custom Knife Factory has done a lot of just awfully cool stuff, but I've just never spent the ducats or the time trying to get one. Kevin Moore says, what's happening, my knife brethren and cistern? Got to keep it equal, Bob, Jim, hope y'all are having a grand evening. Well, I hope you too, Kevin, are having a grand evening, and lots of blade sisters out there. That's how I met my wife. Now, I wouldn't call her a knife junkie, but I did meet her learning how to knife fight in a Kali class. So lots of knife ladies out there. Some of them watch this show, and one of them taught me almost everything I know about filmmaking. A woman I used to work with, she loved knives. I thought that was so cool. Steel Ovan, good to see you. Good to have you here. Hey, he says. Well, hey, right back at you. Mike says, yes, Shiro I want once, but sorry. Yes, get a Shiro. I wanted one once, but now I have 9. I love it. So what's the one? I think it's the 90. It's in the 95 series, but it's just kind of plain Jane, but it's got the green micarta inlays in it. It's a number of years old at this point, but I love that. Chris, good to see you. We got Blade Ogre with us. Hello, all, he says. Byron Kennedy. Byron, good to see you, man. As always. Hello, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Hope life's good for Thursday Night Knives. Well, it's great here. I hope it's good by you, sir. Index Knives. Good to see you, Index Knives. Hi, he says. You're almost invisible the way you're camouflaged like that. Last night, we went downtown and saw a basketball game, and I walked right. Hey, Caleb Townsend. Good to see you. I know I just missed one right before Caleb. Adam. Good to see you, Adam Boyd. Russian, he says. Russian, yes. Chinese, no. Oh, interesting. All right. Well, we'll get down to brass tacks with that post haste. I was speaking of camouflage, and I saw Michael Morgan says, evening, Bob and Jim. Michael Morgan, always a pleasure to see you, and you're blacked out, you're jumbo. Saw a charger with this really cool and very meticulous and well done camouflage pattern on it. It was really cool looking car. Hag 90, good to see you. Hi, the Knife Junkie. I have one Russian kiridashi I've been interested in. Looks well made. I don't discriminate. I'm kind of with you, Hag90. I feel like if buying a Russian knife were an issue for me, then buying Chinese knives all along. And not for nothing, but Chinese iPhones and whatever else I have. I'm sure most of this stuff is Chinese. A lot of it is. It's even countries at war don't separate. They're buying oil from one another, selling each other oil. So we can't enjoy a knife uh, from a knife maker in Russia. I mean, now I'm saying I haven't heard anyone take that stance yet, but I know a lot of Big Perm. It's great to see you, man. The only Russian knife I've ever wanted is the Atropos knife, the baton folder with the 2-prong fork. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that would be cool. One of those ballistic knives would be fun to have too. But I know some people talk with their dollars, and I know a lot of people are big on boycotting it. And I was just curious if people are headed in that direction. CPM, the knife junkie. Oh, Sokosha. Yes. Or Sokasha. Not sure how you pronounce that, but that's the knife. Beautiful. Is that not beautiful? I think it's beautiful. Gira ND, what's up? What's good, Bobby? There's already so much heat in today's political climate. Let's keep knives out of it. We got to perpetuate love, not division. That's how bigger powers win over us. We're all one. I couldn't agree with you more, and I love hearing that kind of thing from knife community. What do you do with a knife? You divide, you cut. That's part of why we love knives. It's it's like a physical symbol of compromise, and yet and division. And in this case, I agree with you. I've always thought this way. Ooh, Buddha Flash, I like the barong in your logo there. Good evening, all, he says. Good evening to you, sir. Lonely Stacker 777. A smile right back at you, sir. I lost my train of thought. There it went. Knives. I was talking about knives, right? Something about knives. John Powell, good to see you, John. Lefty's live was so boring. Glad to be here. Oh man, Lefty's awesome though, and his new knife is pretty sweet. I got to say, I can't wait to get my hands on that to check it out. But it's a pleasure to have you here, man. No matter why or how you got here, it's great to have you. Sharp and Stabby says, it's Thursday. It's time for Thursday Night Knives. Good evening, all. Well, good evening to you, sir. I love it. JN, what's up, y'all? What's up, Bob and Jim? How do you do? I added a little bit of that, but that's basically what you're getting at. Blade Stuff. Good to have you, Blade Stuff. What's up, junkies? He says, well, just hanging out on a Thursday night chatting knives. You know what I mean? Chris McNair. Hey, Bob and Jim. Happy Thursday Night Knives, everyone. Thank you, Chris McNair. Right back at you. I feel like it's so weird. Thursday comes along and I'm like, oh, Thursday Night Knives tonight. Like, I feel like that just happened. These weeks are going by like that. CPM says, I am a Russian knife junkie. I could be. The Sokosha, and then there was another one that had a nail neck. 9198 David, good to see you here, sir. Someone's got to help me with this. Maybe maybe someone can help me with this. It's another CKF custom knife factory. It was a clip point a couple of years ago. Kind of looks like the Sokosha. And it has Sokasha, and it had a nail neck on it. Really cool knife. Let me know if you know what that is. Bobby 357, good to see you, Bobby. The morally indignant end up being the biggest hypocrites when one delves into their lives. No doubt. You said, I mean, I couldn't say it better, man. I mean, it's predictable. It happens with predictability. Those with the most strident protests are usually the ones who are doing that thing, and then they blame you for it. But try and put it right on you, man. That's gaslighting. Lonely Stacker 777 says, I like Crazy Russian Hacker. His videos are fun to watch, and the voice absolute spot on what I thought Russians talk like. That's funny. I've heard of Crazy Russian Hacker, but I have not watched at all. I'd like to check him out. There are also a number of other names I keep hearing recently, and all of these memes and jokes are going over my head, and I'm like, uh-oh. I'm uninformed. I got to find out who this dude is, and now I can't remember his name. But I think, I don't know. James Moore, good to see you. Hey, Bob and Jim, a Shiro owner here. Yeah, James, as an owner of an international cadre of custom knives and high-end production knives, I'm sure you do have an opinion on this topic. It's like separating the scumbag artist from the art. Can you separate the scumbag dictator from his constituents who are actually just regular cool people making awesome knives? Of course, we probably all can. And not to mention that those people probably could use the rubles right now for the knives they make. Nick EDCer says, hey, knife buds, Bob and Jim. Good to see you, Nick EDCer, and your snow owl, or whatever kind of owl that is. On the Edge 72 says, yo, knife people. On the Edge 72, good to have you here. I have a feeling you were born in 72, right? Why else would you use that number? Which means you're an old fart like me, sir, and I appreciate your presence. You're like 31 years old, and you're like steaming right now. No, that's not me, man. 72 stands for how many? Well, I'm not going to get into that. Kevin Ball, good to see you, Kevin. Keep crushing, Junkie. What's up, knife peeps? What's up, knife peeps? Indeed. Actually, let me take this opportunity to say, if you're here, be sure to like it. Leave a comment. That's always fun. That's the best part about this is talking with you. And then subscribe. None of that costs anything, helps me out. And if you're here, despite I know that there is always some percentage of people who are sitting there simmering like, this son of a bitch, I wish you would shut up. Oh, I can't stand it. But they're envious of my knife collection or something. Something brings them back. Perhaps it's just the pure hatred. So those people don't have to hit like, but everyone else hit like. CPM says, I will put my foot down. Shirogorov, Sinkovich. Oh, Sinkovich is so awesome. I don't know why I just looked upstairs because my Sinkovich is right over here, but I love Sinkovich. Chebrikov, which Alex gave me one to check out for a while, which was really cool. Soltamuradov. Soltamuradov. That's a cool name. Soltamuradov are the best knife designers to date. I would have to, like I said, Shirogorov, I have a respect for, really no experience with. But like I said, Sinkovich's designs to a design are interesting. I don't like all of them, but they're all interesting and they're all uniquely Sinkovich, whether they are long and sinuous or bulbous and kind of pod-like. You can tell that they're his designs, and something very avant-garde about them. Buddha Flash says, I'd love to get a custom Shirogorov. They are nice handled. They are nice handled a few. I happen to live a few miles away from Recon 1. Oh my gosh. And never pulled the trigger. Buddha Flash, I would be in bad shape, as I'm sure you have learned to discipline yourself. I mean, I'm the type of guy who gets a Knife Jones and I go to Walmart. I mean, that's where I live, man. And then you go to Walmart and they obviously don't want to sell the knives they have because they're strewn in this little cabinet in their boxes. You can't see what the hell it is. But I live in the most domesticated part of the country, and knives are scary. They're very scary. Unless you're buying an 8-inch butcher knife with serrations, and you can do that, really easily. And we all know that's the number one murder weapon. Hag90 says, I've been using 14C28N for the past month for all of my cuts. I'm really enjoying it for knife steel. Really sharp, easy to sharpen and strap. That's interesting, Hag90. I've heard of a lot of people doing the thing where they just use one knife for a month or a year or whatever it is. They limit their use to one knife. But I think it's cool you're limiting your use to one steel, because you're going to be able to tell how differently companies heat treat and all that. It's really cool. Steve Clever, good to see you here, man. Always a pleasure with your chicken head. Have a knife day. Have a knife day. Good to have you here. I did have a knife day, and now I'm having a knife evening. Good evening, Junkie, he says. Well, good evening to you, sir. Big Perm. Taras Kull is the crazy Russian hacker. I like that guy, too. Taras Kull. That's kind of a cool name, too. Jay McConnell, good to see you here, Jay. Even it felt that was I went to a basketball game last night. That was my announcer voice. Jay McConnell, good to see you here, Jay. Evening, fellas. Lots of great knives, hawks, and other bladed implements from custom Russian makers who need to feed their families. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Unless I see one supporting the war, I'm happy to help them out. Who knows? Who knows? I am not on the ground gathering information, nor do I know anyone doing so. But it seems like, Russia just conscripted 134,000 people who we can only imagine were unwilling until they were conscripted. Otherwise, they would have joined up. And I don't know. I don't know how popular that whole effort is over there. I think people would rather make their knives and live their lives and, keep going with their capitalist, trying for capitalism there than they would invading their neighbors. But, I don't know. I don't know anything about foreign policy. Scott N says, I have noticed valuations on my 520 has decreased this last month or so. I have noticed valuations on my 520 how? Wait, Scott N, I can't tell if you're making a joke to make this sound like a financial investment or if you're serious. And if so, how? Is that looking at prices on the secondary market, people selling their 520? Please explain, Scott N. Thank you, sir. Steve says, I have a beloved Makosha. I think that's the one. And several Russian fixed blade customs. Okay, so Steve, is the CKF Makosha, is that the one that has the nail neck and the clip point blade and the kind of curved handle? I love that knife. I would get that and the Sokosha, the one that we were talking about before. King Snake Jake, good to see you here, King Snake Jake. Heading out the door, just wanted to say hello. Take care, everyone. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for saying hello. You be safe heading out the door. Make sure you have at least 2 knives on you and have a fine evening, sir. We'll see you next time. Mr. Fileto, always a pleasure to have him with us. Mr. Fileto's got such a killer collection, and he has loaned a small portion of that to me. And man, those were some sweet knives. Thank you, Mr. Fileto. Happy knifely tidings, all. I like that. Had the AD-20 Mark I medium. Oh, A2D Mark I medium. Sorry. That's attention to detail mercantile with the gunner grip. That's nice. My all-time favorite Para 3 lightweight in Rex 45. That's a nice combo. I didn't know you had the A2D. I didn't know you had one of his knives. I've been playing with mine recently, and it was an early one, and man alive, it's got some pain built into it. It's not nearly as smooth and sweet as some of his new ones, but it was the inlay and the blade grind that sold that knife, not the action. So someday I'll get another A2D with the awesome action, and everything will be just peachy. All right, I'm gonna get to a pocket check. We are 18 minutes in, and I have yet to pocket check. So let me show you what I had in my front right pocket today. And man, this is such a good one, and I haven't carried it in a while. And now that I have it, I think it needs purple micarta, a purple micarta, or my usual burgundy micarta handle. But I love this knife. Anyway, today I had on me the Emerson PSARC. That stands for Police Survival and Rescue Knife. I'm sorry, Search and Rescue Knife, not survival. Search and Rescue Knife. Now, this knife is different from the SARC, just the Emerson Search and Rescue Knife. That one has a blunted tip, like a rounded tip, and the edge stops before the tip rounds out. Excuse me. And then it has one of those cut out U-shaped blades on the back for cutting seatbelts, which I believe works when the knife is closed. And then the police version, the PSARC, they just turned it into a nasty little pocket gununting, which is what it is. And it's fully chisel grounds. It's nastily sharp. Even with this relatively steep 1/3 saber ground, chisel here, it is just incredibly sharp. And you can see here, let's see if you can see that tip. Oof. This one was built in 2013. I can still remember the details around the purchase of this knife. I was at one of my wife's. My wife has a lot of aunts and uncles, and they are Latin, and they have awesome big barbecues in the summer. And we were at one of those awesome big barbecues eating something called anticuchos, which is grilled, in this case, or skewers of beef heart that are so tender and delicious. And I remember eating one, just like, and everyone else was involved in conversation, whatever. I had my phone out, and I went to, I don't remember who I bought it from, but this was a knife that was on sale, and it was like the first knife I saw. And I was like, if I don't do it now, I'll always regret it. I'll always remember this moment. And I did buy it, and I still remember the moment. It's just for a good reason, because I got this piece arc on me. Great action. It's got the double detent, super smooth action. And this one I keep relatively stiff. Not stiff, but you can't just flick it out with your thumb like you can the new Emerson's without a little wrist. Just a great knife, a great self-defense knife, and I would imagine this to be a great work knife in the sort of thing, like if you're someone who cuts open a lot of bags, maybe they're bags of feed, I don't know, or seed or stuff. Uh, this is awesome because it opens up bags of salad and chips and more domesticated things really easily. I have a feeling it would have no problem with burlap or whatever else they sell stuff in. So, Scott N, thank you for getting back to me. I'm not selling my 520. I won it. I won it on Nick Shabazz. Ooh, that's cool, man. I do keep an eye out and have seen the prices go up and down about $50 to $100 on average. Was in the $450 to $550 range, and now the lower 400s. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Maybe just attrition, or not attrition. What do you call it? Lithification. Maybe it's just like every new knife that comes out after that it knife, because the 520 was an it knife for a minute there. So maybe every new knife that's an it knife that comes out after it settles in a thin layer on top of the one before, and suddenly the 520 is still down. It drops through compression down to the 400s. Who knows? All right. Next up today, I carried in my waistband the awesome Hogtooth Knives EDC Tanto. Great sheath. Awesome sheath. And of course, my favorite clip in the world. These discreet carry concept clips are awesome. Take that off. Discreet. I always get the name wrong, and it's not written right. Discreet carry concepts. That's what it is. This is the knife. Really, really nicely done. 154 cm, acid tumbled finish, hollow ground, nice and thin, and then a super steep edge on it. I'm not steep, but yeah, it's got a pretty, not steep, the other shallow, long relief cutting edge. This thing is so incredibly sharp, and he treated this so nicely. I used this, I've talked before, to make wood shavings and feather sticks in that heat, that really hard kind of kiln treated wood. And I had a whole bunch of knives for that task. None of them were doing what I thought they would do. I was picking all my thinnest, folding knives and small fixed blade knives to test feather sticking. And it was this one. And I had it on my person just because I was carrying it all day long. And I just decided to pull it out. I think of it as a self-defense knife, but I decided to pull it out and try it on that, and discovered, yeah, this really is a awesome utility knife. Now I'm going to get Matt Chase, the man who made this knife. His main stuff is forging, but these to make them, keep them affordable, he does stock removal. I'm going to commission him to do a couple of knives here that have that handle setup and that finger guard setup. But I have a Bowie design I'd like him to make, same length, and then a Warncliffe design I'd like him to make. And then just the other day, I was thinking about a couple of other things. But I really love this handle setup. It's a 4-finger handle, even for Matt, and he's much bigger dude than I am, and it still fits in his hand, four fingers. But it's short enough and rounded off nicely that if you carry it on your person, especially in your waistband or close to your body, this is really kind on the love handles and on the ribs when you're sitting in your car and everything. And so it just makes for a super comfortable fixed blade carry. And yes, of course, I got it because I carry fixed blade knives on me, thinking of them as self-defense implements, but really, this is just an outstanding EDC knife. And man, looking at it next to this not huge piece arc, it looks really small, actually. Huh. Look at that. All right, and then last up, I've been carrying this a lot. I think I showed this last week. This is the Kaiser Mini, the Kaiser Pelican Mini, designed by K. Maxrom. His name is Jonathan Renaudin. That's my French. So he's the designer of the Preta 2, and then he also did this Pelican for concept. The Preta 2 is also for concept. Preta 2 means ready for anything. Pret is ready. Is for. And toot is everything. Or anything. I did not take French. I took German in high school, and I maintain that has been useless, but I really enjoyed it. Great teacher. So there it is. That's a nice little family portrait here. Let's just do it complete justice. So that's all my K-Max from design knives. I dig his designs. I would like to get from him a custom fixed blade. He makes small pelicans. They all of his knives seem to have that thumb swale on the back of the blade. Here it results in a twin peaked Bowie, kind of like a Mac V Sog. Here it looks very much like a place to put your thumb, which it is. And same thing here. You get that double peaked look that I like so much, but you also get perfect swale for your thumb for bearing down. So this was my carry for today. It was the Kaiser Pelican Mini, the EDC Tanto from Hogtooth Knives, and the Peace Arc. Love the Peace Arc. So what were you guys carrying today, guys and gals? Guys and dolls, I'll say that. Oh, what were you guys carrying today? Let me know. I want to hear. Blade Ogre. Okay. All right. Blade Ogre. I'm going to take a sip of water because Blade Ogre. And I hope I'm not wearing this joke thin, because that's what we do in my family. We take a joke and we beat it senseless, and then we continue to do so until people are angry at you. But Blade Ogre carries a lot of knives. So I'm going to take a little sip to refresh myself. Carrying the Hogue Sig Sauer X5 4-inch. Okay. That is a Alan Elishewitz, right? I think they all are. The Southern Grind Bad Monkey, awesome. Case double serrated copperhead. I remember seeing that a couple weeks back. You had that. The Protec Bren 3, love it. The XM Hinderer 18 XM 18 recurve. That's got that cool blue handle. Love that knife. And the Tactile Bear. And the Kershaw Knockout M390. Damn. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knives today. All right. So my question, and Chris, that's not me being judgy. That's me feeling a little outdone. Though I had a case full of mayhem with me, so I could change things out throughout the day. But I did not have 7 knives on my person. So what I was going to ask you is, did you carry them all? Or did you just bring them along with you? Or just have them out and about? Okay, Mike Flamian says Shirogorov Quantum Folder and Randall Model 14. Love it. And the Victorinox Cadet on keychain and Spyderco Arc Neck. So this is, I think you had something other than the Shiro last week, but other than that, it was the Model 14 Attack, the Victorinox Cadet on the keys, and the Spyderco Arc Neck. Nice carry, Mike. You know I have massive respect for anyone who carries a Randall in their EDC. Have a nice day, says Aramis Akhmedov. Okay, Aramis Akhmedov. That's what I'm going to okay. Aramis Akhmedov makes fantastic aftermarket knife scales and is based in Russia. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recognize that name, but I wonder if that's the same person that Alex of the Knife Box channel has gotten a lot of scales from, especially, he can't just have like a regular anything. He customizes everything, even if he's getting a common production knife like some sort of super steel PM2. I know he got the scales, I believe, from that same guy in Russia, and they're really nice looking. Sharp and Stabby says Fox Ryu. Yeah, nice. In well-fitted, filthed green. I'm going to say fitted, but well-filthed I like. But I would say filthed. Okay, anyway. Fox Ryu in well-fitted green micarta. Oh, no, well-filthed. That's what you mean. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to start over again, Sharp and Stabby. Sharp and Stabby's here. Oh, let's see. Fox Ryu in well-filthed green micarta and the Street Scalpel 2.0 on board for me. That is a nice combo. The Fox Ryu by Ken Vehikite of Black Rock Knives. Gorgeous. And I like that you used the word filthed, turn filth into a verb. I like that. Filthed. And I would say I've been using patina recently, but I might change to filthed because it's that personal filth profile, you know. John Powell says Ganzo 7531 and a custom tinnis or tinus stone custom slip joint. Tinus stone, tinnis stone. I don't know that name, but a custom slip joint. That sounds sweet. How's that Ganzo 7531? Is Ganzo have they kept up with everyone else on the cheap Chinese side? Are they making awesome stuff? Never really had much of their stuff at all. Oh man. CPM says RJ Martin Vanguard transfusion. I'm not are you telling me that that's what you were carrying? RJ Martin to me is also like yeah, like I would love to have an RJ Martin, like I would love to have a Charles Marlowe. Yeah. That's a nice thing you got there, man. Nicely done. James Moore says custom Enrique Pena trapper with carbon fiber scales here. Ooh, that sounds nice. I have something cool on the traditional side with carbon fiber scales headed my way, and I cannot wait to get it, show it off, and talk about it. Walt Gilbert, good to have you here, Walt. I was off work today, you lucky man, and haven't left the house. Have you left your sweatpants? Have you left your PJs? That's the question. The only thing in my pocket was the Cold Steel Mini Tough Light. I used it to open a frozen pizza. Nice, man. Nice. That sounds like a good day. Frozen pizza, still in your pajamas, and haven't left the house. Cold Steel Mini Tough Light. You're like, I didn't say anything about my pajamas. I know, but I'm adding that in. If I were you and this was my day, that's what I've done. And that Cold Steel Mini Tough Light would be a part of my carry. That's a great knife. That's really like, do you need anything more than that almost ever? I'm not sure what kind of life you lead, but I kind of don't. Have a knife day. It says, loving that Emerson. I live not too far away from their facility, which is in Harbor City, down the street from the Battleship Iowa in San Pedro. That is cool, man. That's cool. A Battleship Iowa. Okay, so I've been on. So the battleships were named after states, and I was on the Wisconsin. What's the real famous one? It was here in DC for a while. Oh, damn, it's beautiful. Amazing ship or boat. Don't they call them boats in the Navy? Byron Kennedy, Cold Steel Recon 1. I know that's the drop point, right? And the Kershaw Brawler. Nice. The Brawler. Which one's the Brawler? I'm trying to remember what the Brawler is. Adam Boyd, today I have the CRKT Otanashi no Ken. That's a cool knife. That's the large folding Williams, right? The Otanashi no Ken. Cold Steel Black Talon 2. Awesome. And the Cold Steel Scottish Dirk in my bag. Nice. That Scottish Dirk. I have the Culloden. And Adam, I think maybe you were talking about that last week. But anyway, the Scottish Dirk, the big one, the one that's a historical recreation. Now, I was thinking of the Culloden, which is the little ski and do, which I carried the other day for the first time in a long time and remembered how awesome it is. Jay McDonald making me jealous with his Tom Crine TK11 Warney pocket fixie and Case Peanut today. That's a nice combination, man, because Tom Crine's knives, especially with the some of the scales he tends to use, have a sort of traditional feel to them. And the Case Peanut with a, probably has some sort of bone handle. That's a good combo, I feel. Never Enough Knives 007 007. Sorry, 007. That's what That's what Mark Zuckerberg would say, because that part of his alien education on Earthlings did not mention 007. So he would be like, never enough knives, 007, like I just did. And then my training kicked in. Anyway, Off-Grid Cayman, nice EDC. BGM Quaken. What a coinky dink. I got one right here, man. I love this knife. Very, very thin and very, very sharp. Jacked up my finger with it, and it stayed jacked up for a long time. I think I cut it very deeply. CJRB Crag. That's a cool one. That's kind of that. It's kind of a cleaver, right? And the Swiss Army knife tinker today. So you had the Off-Grid Cayman, love that. The BGM Quaken, love that. CJRB Crag, and the nice carry, man. I appreciate it. Lone Wolf, good to see you, Lone Wolf. I carried the Topps Silent Hero 4, small, fast, made here. I always like the Silent Hero. That's a 5 and 7/8 inch blade, very almost 6-inch blade. Always like that. Never got it. And now that they've come out with the 4, I'm very tempted to get that. But so many knives. I never ended up getting the Unzipper, which I really want from Topps. That's their basically it's their lioness turned upside down to make it a Pikal style knife. Hag 90 says, the Knife Junkie, which fixed blade and sharpener do you carry in your prepper bag? Well, if you mean in my go bag, I have, let's see, in the car I have that in the car I have a get home bag, and the fixed blade in that, the main fixed blade in that is the big cheap cold steel Tanto, the GI Tanto. Thing's pretty cool, and I've gotten it very sharp, and it's just like a bang around piece. And then I don't remember what sharpener I have in the bag. It's probably a stone or one of those diamond lap sharpeners. And then, but just in my bag that I carry with me all the time, to and from work and that kind of thing, I keep a SOG seal pup with serrations. That's my fixed blade, because it's a 5-inch. It's like a very capable knife, and actually, it's not just name the seal. A lot of seals have used it. I've read accounts of its use, and not in any sort of just for banging around, and they loved it. So I use that, and I have a strap. I keep a homemade strap in my bag, and I keep that thing strapped all the time, even though I don't use it. Steve says, there is also a recent related custom knife factory Marfione collaboration, Sakosha. Yeah, that one, and then the other one are my two very, very favorite custom knife factory knives. And that's saying a lot, because there are plenty that are also good looking whose names I just don't know. Spyderco Shaman, Michael Morgan says he had the Spyderco Shaman with RC Bladeworks black canvas micarta scales. They have very nice scales. I have some scales of from RC Bladeworks on something here, and I don't even remember what it is now. Canvas micarta scales, CME, and custom titanium clip. CME. What's CME? Too late today. Blade Stuff says, today was the Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. That's a cool knife. And the Civivi Odium, which I am giving away soon. And my Victorinox Fieldmaster. Blade Stuff, where are you giving this stuff away? Let us know where you're giving it away so people can tune in and try and get in on that. Buddha Flash carried an Urban EDC Titanium F5.5 and the GEC Northfield 81 in Gabon Ebony. Very nice. First time in a while. I have a bunch of slip joints out tonight. I think I'm heading back in that direction. Love me some slip joints. This one, I just think it deserves a little camera time. Such a beauty. And this one was sent to me by Mike Latham, and it's a factory second. There is a little crack. let's see, a little crack in this really nice purple bone material. It's hard to see from here, but it's right there. And there's an S on it right here on the Tang stamp. It says GEC carbon 470120, and then it has an S stamped in, which you can't see because I can't hold this right. But that stands for second. Oh, there we go. I thought it stood for store copy at first, and then someone was like, "No, man, that's a second. Look at the crack." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see that crack." I thought it was just I thought it was a S for store copy, like it was a copy sent out to retailers, like Mr. Latham. But what a cool guy he is, and I was bitching and moaning about how I missed the drop. I'm always missing drops, and he's like, "Just if this will stop you from whining, I will send this to you." And he did. What a cool guy. Yep, getting back into the old slip joints here. Hollywood Tactical, good to see you here, man. And now I just refreshed again. Once again, still unsubbed. What? So are you being unsubbed to my channel? Is that what you're saying? That sucks. I hear a lot of people talking about that happening. Matthew Christensen, good to see you here, sir. I think I can say without reservation, Matthew, you are the finest knife maker among us. Perhaps the only, but man, I love your work, and I'm happy you're with us here, man. Kevin Moore says, today I'm carrying my brand spanking new CRKT Ritual. Beautiful. In the right. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start this again. I was thinking about something else, but reading that. So let me just jot this thing down, and isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? That's entertainment. Why am I watching someone write something down? That's how I feel in like most spy movies these days. I'm like, why am I watching someone on a computer? I'm on a computer all day. Why is this exciting? Show me the guy shooting someone or climbing into an airplane or whatever. You're scaling a building. I don't need to see the guy on the computer saying, "Oh, make a right, make a left." Kevin Moore. Today, I'm carrying my brand spanking new CRKT Ritual. That's that beautiful giant Persian with the white and blue handle. It looks nice, man. In the right pocket, the Victorinox Cadet in blue Alox. That sounds nice. In the left, with the Quill XL. I felt pretty. Oh, so pretty, witty, and you were just slaying today. Matthew Christensen, where are your CK knives? Sadly, I have no answer for you. I think they're still in your possession. Sharp and Stabby says, I'm more of a traditional Tanto fan, but that hog tooth is sweet. Yes. Well, first of all, thank you. Well, maybe not thank you because I didn't make it, but I agree with you. Though I do like Americanized Tantos quite a bit. They are very different from that very graceful shape of a traditional Tanto. I'm sorry, Jim, can you go back to the last one before I get to the budget guy? Blade Ogre says they do pocket checks yet. Oh, they do pocket checks yet? We're doing them right now, actually, Chris. I just read your 7 knives. That's a pockets check for you. The budget guy, FKT, good to see you here, man. I do not recognize you, so welcome. I'm late again, y'all. Chilling this time, laughing my ass off. So you have been here, and maybe I'm just forgetting your name, but the budget guy, awesome to have you here, and just chill. That's what it's all about. We're all about chilling with knives. Dark Gravity, Strider, SNG, Kaiser, Zip Slip. Very nice, solid carry. Not overstated, but classy for sure. Hollywood Tacticals. Oh, and capable. Right. Hollywood Tactical says, FYI, Knife Junkie, YouTube refuses to let me stay sub to you. Well, I wonder if that's why my subscription grows slowly. Either that or I just don't produce enough of the stuff that people like. But that's disconcerting. That actually sucks a lot. I wonder why it won't let you stay sub to me. Huh. Well, thank you. I will look into it. I'll call my contacts at YouTube. Have a Knife Day says Cold Steel Recon 1 clip point and Mark McCoon Sanmai fixed blade. I don't know Mark McCoon, but I love the sound of Sanmai fixed blade. My first Sanmai and first handmade knife. Well, congratulations. That feels great. It feels great. And then after a while, I thought it would be like after a while, I would only want custom knives, but now it's just another thing. Uh, that hasn't quelled my thirst for cheap and expensive production fixed blade knives, or production fixed blade knives, but I am now giving myself permission to spend more money on the custom things, and I like those relationships too. And I'll still get the cheap folders, but I see myself going towards customs there too. Anyway, Keenison, NF Stray, and Surge Midtech Bean. How do you like that? How do you like the bean, Caleb? I know you tend to like a lot of larger knives. Is that a good secondary knife? Evening Junkie says Ketmuk Nessart. Ketmuk, good to have you here, man. Always a pleasure. Redacted. In the pocket today was the Vosteed Bellamy. What a great EDC. That's interesting. Vosteed reached out to me, said, "Can we send you a knife?" I said, "Yes." And then I said, "Someone I know has one of your kitchen knives," and I was actually mistaken. I was thinking of a different company. But anyway, so they sent me a kitchen knife, and it's pretty nice. I'm going to put out a review in a little while of it, but I have to gather more footage of it in use. And luckily, my folks are going to be in town this weekend. My mom will no doubt make some sauce, and so I'll take video of her cutting, and the rest of us. So Vosteed, that folder, I'm very interested in it. A lot of people really like it. Steve says, I carried my Rex 45 Micarta Shaman today. That seems to be a classic, and a lot of people on this show, or a lot of people who watch this show, tend to like that very model of Shaman. 9198 David says, carried my Demco 8020 Kubi Carve. I've heard that's great, the Carve. And the Strider Prometheus design, Kraken SMF. Holy crap. Oh, to Yosemite. Man, it just keeps getting better. What a great sentence you just said there. Well, be safe in Yosemite. Watch out for those bear, those moose. And boy, you've got some capable knives with you. That Kraken SMF is cool. If you haven't seen it, it's an SMF that was, it's a collaboration or an exclusive with Prometheus Design, and they have the Prometheus octopus on it, right, with the trident. It looks cool as hell. I think it's got a trident. Steel Ovan says, I carried one of my fixed blades, the Leatherman Wave, a Spectrum Energetics Utilizer, and an Ultratech today. What the hell is a Spectrum Energetics Utilizer? It sounds like something that you kill someone with in the future. Tie Addiction says Microtech Stitch today. Love that knife. I've been thinking about that knife lately. I carry them all in a 511. Oh, in 511 tactical pants. I have a couple of pairs of 511 tactical pants, and you're right, man. They have great pockets, but not just great pockets. Great, I don't know, the way they cut the pants. There's a lot of support behind the pocket. It's not like having something heavy in a pocket and then that whole pocket is flapping around. So that seems ideal. Those seem like the perfect pants to carry 7 knives in. Kep McNessart says, I had a light carry today. Bear Forest Knives, GT EDC, Bug Out, and Eldris. That's 3 knives there. I'm sorry, I keep scratching. I feel like a monkey, man. That's a solid 3 knife carry with 2 fixed blades, right? I wouldn't say that's that light. 1 Minute Knife Review. Good to see you. Hello, everybody, says 1 Minute Knife Review. Hello to you, sir. What are you carrying? Let us know. Yoda Doug says new Crewwear Benchmade Adamas full-size folder and Ontario XM combat deployed folder. Yes, that thing looks cool. You sent me the that DM of that. That looks like a cool knife. I remember I don't know if I remember when that came out, but I remember a long time ago looking at what other folders has Ontario done that's not the Rat, and I discovered a couple of knives, and that was one of them. On the Edge 72 XM24 Mystic Bowie, and the number 72 was my football number for 8 years. I was born in 85, you old fuck, but I feel like an old geezer. Excuse the French. You feel like an old geezer. You're not an old geezer, but it could be the football. I hear people who played a lot of football. It can wear you down a little bit. I worked with a cameraman whose shoulder, from years of holding a camera, the big heavy ones, and then from years of playing football, just shoulder messed up. Anyway, 1 minute knife review. Mini Griptilian 20 CV G10 version here today. I love that with the gray and then the blue on the inside. They really did a nice job in updating the Griptilians a couple years back when they did that with the 20 CV. JN says Manix 2 in S110V, Wee Roxy 3. So the S110V, we've seen that. The Wee Roxy 3 carbon fiber native chief. Oh no, that's what we've seen in S90V Eldris. That's it for the knives. We Roxy 3. Okay. Roxy 3, that's the smaller one, I think. Right? Okay, so hey, Professor EDC, good to see you. Bob, Jim, Junkies, hope you all are doing well and enjoying the show. What's going on? Well, we're about to actually, Professor EDC, this would be a great time for you to chime in. We're talking about buying Russian knives and is the knife community kind of separate from that whole idea of boycotting things when you don't like what the umbrella or governing organization above it does. So let us know. As a man who speaks about knife philosophy, I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Have a Knife Day says the Missouri, which is now in Hawaii. The Missouri, which is now the Missouri. Okay, which is now in Hawaii. You're talking about the battleships. Sorry, that took me a second. Okay, that's what I was on. The Missouri. Walt Gilbert, thank you, man. I'm not crying, Walt. I just got something in my eye. I swear. Right before your super chat. Let's see if I can read. Walt Gilbert says, I am still in my flannel pants and Mike Emler Sea Snake t-shirt fidgeting QSP Penguin. It doesn't get better than that. And it's a Thursday, Thursday when everyone else is at work. It feels great. It feels great to be at home like that. I used to be able to do that more. Not play hooky, but just be like, I'm not coming in today. I got important personal stuff to take care of. And I can't do that anymore. But I loved those days. And also, that was pre-pandemic. My wife would be at the office and the kids would be at school. I'd be like, this is my house all day. And I would just do whatever I wanted. It was awesome. Just me and the cat and the dog. Those were the days. Well, Walt Gilbert, I appreciate that. And I am going to salute you, sir. Walt. All right. Well, I'm going to go old school. So old school. This is kind of like what a Viking would use. I'm going to go with this here. Let me show you the sheath too. This is a beauty. This is a Condor knife. I don't have too many Condors, but the ones I have, I am quite impressed with. This is their, what do they call this? It's a sax, but I think they call it Chieftain sax or something like that. Has a beautiful leather sheath with an excellent internal plastic retention system. I don't want to call it a system. Retention thing, sleeve. So it friction fits in there very nicely with the leather and then the plastic inside. It's got some runes on it, but look at that. This is for you, Walt. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And check out this sax. I need more of these in my life too. I need more sax style Viking type. Almost, I just love it. It's just like a sharpened rectangle. And I've gotten it very, very sharp. Thank you, Walt Gilbert. Much appreciated. All right. All right, moving it over here. Professor EDC carrying the Spyderco Manix Maximet. That's cool. And case back lock. And yes, my Bark River Adventurer. That's cool. That's a cool little knife and a great little EDC. 1 minute knife reviews. Hashtag 2-for-1s. 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 Is that like a 2-for-1? 2-for-1s. What is that? 2 of you hands. Oh, too few hands. Jeez. Oh my God. Too few hands. There we go. Why was that hard for me to see? What does that mean that I couldn't see that? And what does too few hands mean? Jeez. I feel like our president. Gear D says small Inkosi with natural micarta inlays, little work beast. For sure. I love the Inkosi. And the natural micarta. How could you beat that? And then an unfinished for now full tang mini razory cleaver that I just finished grinding out rough yesterday, and a mini corvid for hand play. Well, I got some stuff to show off. Too few hands for all the knives. Too few hands. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. That was a little assist from Jim. Sog Seal Pup, you're showing your age and generation. Okay, well, I mean, okay. So I'm proud. Hinderer Collector 41. Good to see you, Brent. Hello, he says. Hello. See, right to the point. I like that. 1 minute knife review. Compression made easy. Spyderco compression lock mod. See, oh yeah. Yes, that's cool. That was originally created for lefties, right? I like that. Blade stuff. So yeah, because this is very difficult for me to close with my left hand. I mean, it can be done, but it's very precarious. My grip is very precarious there. Blade Stuff says the giveaway is on my YouTube channel. It is a pre-500 sub celebration of sorts. Thanks. Oh, Blade Stuff. All right? If I'm not subscribed to you, I will definitely do so. And that's Blade Stuff. That happens a lot where I will be on Instagram or on YouTube, and I'll be like, I'll see a video, and then I'll realize I'm not subscribed to them. Like Shane Gables is a perfect example. Shane, I was watching your video this morning, how to pick out the perfect knife for you. I dug it. That was my 5 a.m. viewing, Shane. Instead of just sitting peacefully contemplating my existence, I spent my morning with you, Shane, picking out a knife. But love that video. And with Shane, I was like, I thought I was subscribed to you, but now I'm starting to think, after Hollywood Tactical said that he keeps being unsubscribed to me, maybe I've been unsubscribed to the people that I think I'm already following. Hollywood Tactical says, Knife Check, yes, I was looking at the notification for tonight's live, but I was unsubbed, and no matter how many times, it just won't let me sub. That's baloney sausage, man. Are you logged in? You're like, yeah, I'm logged in, dude. Shane Gable says, I just unsubbed from Emler a lot, but that's probably not a bad idea. I get unsubbed from Emler a lot, but that's not probably a bad. That's funny. We all love Emler. Have a Knife Day says, the Battleship Missouri was the one where the Japanese signed their surrender. Wow, that's pretty amazing. They were right out there on the deck. I know I've seen that picture. Shane says, still carrying my new M4 Contigo. Oh, that's so nice. I'm in love. So the M4 Contigo, that's the one with the that's got the gray on the blade, right? Or because they made another one that's uncoated, I think, but they had to coat the M4, right? That's the first knife I had with M4, and that is a very sharp and slicey knife, and I didn't think it would be, and then I got rid of it because I had to get something else. And yeah, that's another one I wish I still had, because that's one of the few Benchmade knives that is, I find, truly compelling, like design wise. It's just gorgeous to look at, but it's been one of the few Benchmades that I've had that I thought was really outstanding. I don't know why I got rid of it. Maybe it was to get a hinderer like this. My carry is my Eclipse 3-inch in blue. I didn't know they made Eclipses in 3-inch in blue G10. Brent now is laughing. Of course they do, you dilettante. But for some reason, I thought the Eclipse was only a 3.5 inch. Chris's Shanks, or Stanks, Shanks, it comes with the territory. Chris's Stanks. I'm late. Can you still get Russian knives? You can still get Russian knives? I'm presuming you can, Chris. Because there are a lot of American dealers, and I know that they have a lot of places still have stock, I would imagine. But I'm not so sure how easy it is to import something like that. Neves Knives, Jared, and perhaps Kara, great to see you here. Hey, all. Hey, Bob. I got my skinny XM18 sheep's foot with fat carbon. Loving it. That thing is beautiful. I want to give a shout out before I salute Jared and Neves Knives. I want to congratulate Jared and Karen for cresting the 100,000 sub barrier. That is tremendous and awesome. And when I saw that, this is funny. When I saw that that you guys that your channel had crossed over, I felt like Robert De Niro in Goodfellas when Joe Pesci got made. It's like I don't know. I felt that way. It's like, yeah, now that Jared has passed 100,000, it's like, we're in, guys, we're in. I don't know. For some reason, I know that there are others who have crossed that barrier, but Neves Knives is definitely in my top 3 favorite channels, and couldn't happen to better folks. So thank you, Neves Knives. Thank you, Jared and Kara. And I'm going to salute you with something cool. It might not be one of my bigger ones, but it's one of my specialister ones, and that's this. My brother made the sheath here. Let me put it under the knife cam. My brother made the gorgeous sheath for this out of leather. He's a good leather man, leather worker. But anyway, this is an attention to detail mercantile medium fighter, double-edged with tortoiseshell. This is for you. Thank you, guys, and congratulations. But thank you for this. And that is for you. Look at that. 2 edges on there. 2 edges. One for Kara and one for Jared. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. All right. So buying Russian knives. Let me know if anyone is still doing it or if they have a moral compunction, a moral objection. Hag90 says, both subs and non-sub junkies, please puncture the like button and show your appreciation for the knife junkie. And by puncture, he means take out your closest Prather war buoy whoosh, and stab that like button. All right, I want to show you a couple of cool things as we continue the conversation. But I've gotten my first send cut, and I like it a lot. Shane says, I just posted my picking the right knife for you, part 2. Check it out after this. Yes, do indeed. That first one was awesome. So you said up front it was going to be a series, so that's cool. All right, I want to show off a couple of things. First, before I get to that send cut, I was sent a couple of things that cut just this past week by good friend Patina Turner, and I want to show this off. Well, I want to show these off. First, I'll start with this Pry Bar. Never Enough Knives 007. 511 has some good jeans with a lot of knifey pockets. I got to check into their jeans, actually. I got. You don't need to know my wardrobe woes, but there are many and severe. Okay, so this is a Pry Bar that Patina made for me, and made and sent to me. And I really appreciate it. And it is a cool piece of steel. It's got some really nice working in it, some nice mark making in it, and some cuts in it. But the business end is very nice. It's flat. It's been flat and created almost sharp. You could use this to open boxes for sure, but really this is a Pry Bar, and it's really cool to have. Thank you. I appreciate this. Something else I appreciate, which is super cool, and I am not saying these are gifts. I shouldn't assume these are gifts, is what I mean. He sent them to me, and I think I like them, so I like. This is what I do. Sorry, I don't mean to be presumptuous, Bettina. This next knife that is currently in my possession is really cool. It is a mini Tanto. It's got a beautiful shape. It reminds me a little bit of Jacob Creates, a Jacob Creates Tanto I had for a short while on loan from Tier 1. And what reminds me of it is this sort of swedge. And here he's got a long swedge that comes after this thumb swale, and it is sharpened. It's a zero ground chisel right here. And then the main cutting edge, it's got a chisel bevel, but a double edged or double ground edge, and it's very sharp. And then it's got this cool little wooden handle on it, and it's a comfortable little pocket knife. That's exactly what it is, because he's made this nice little leather sheath, and you can see the form fits in there perfectly, and drop it in your pocket. So I love this. I love that he has made these cool things. He sent these from Canada for me to check out. This one is really neat. This is a neat, again, showing my age. This one's super keen and neato. This is a pocket hatchet, or pocket tomahawk. Look at this thing. We've seen some pocket tomahawks before, and I've never quite seen one like this. So this has I would imagine you would carry it in your pocket like this, and this would be at the bottom of the pocket and would help keep it oriented north to south. You could reach in your pocket and draw it like this. You have a little thing to guard this, but this blade is super sharp. It's pretty oblique. It's not a thin, slicey edge, but it is a very, very here. It's this sharp. I mean, really, really sharp, but also quite obtuse. And he's done some decorative work on it. He's got a little leather strap here, some copper, and it looks forged, and it's just a cool and unique thing. And now, of course, having this for a couple of days, I've been trying to figure out how I would use it, and I could definitely see myself using the hook in a sort of utility and combative way. Um, kind of in this motion, you could use it to grip and hold, but you could also use it to, do some percussive kind of stabbing with it. Just a cool little implement, man. So thank you for sending these along to check out. And I realize I have to get back on Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram for a few days, at least the DMs. I did put up some excerpts of the show that were shown with Brian Brown, but I haven't been in my DMs in a couple of days, and I have to find out what you want me to do with these, because I don't want to assume that they're mine, but they're very cool to have, or very cool to have in my possession. 1 Minute Knife Review says, always have the UTX 70 and the mini Troodon. I like the Troodon. By the way, the mini Troodon. Okay, I was gonna say, by the way, the Troodon is actually the mini, but you're talking about the sub 3-inch. That's something new, right? And the UTX 70. I like the Ultratech, just the regular. I have not experienced the UTX 85 or the 70. But great knives, and I have something exciting from Microtech coming in at some point shortly. I'm sorry, Jim, can you go to that last one? Chris's Stanks says, can we still get Russian knives? Oh, love my two CKFs. Yeah, I think so. I don't know about the active importation of them right at this moment, but I'm quite sure that there are plenty of places that have them available for purchase. Kane A says, late to the party, evening all. Kane, great to have you, as always. Carried the Terzuola Protec, you bastard. I mean, very nice knife. A little bit of envy just escaped. The CPK Shark and the Skiff Drifter. Skiff knives, man. They're dazzling. They are dazzling, and those bearings, I think it's cool that people just support them for their bearings too. That's so cool. I mean, that means you know what you're doing for sure, down to the micro level. Adam Boyd says, "I have 2 dagger stings. Oh, and want to get a dagger parrot. Dagger." So that is a Russian company that makes these daggery folders. They have these well, look them up if you don't know. But who's making now? There's maybe it's Sencut. Someone I was just looking at some Chinese budget, high value budget knives on Amazon, and there's someone is making something that looks an awful lot like the dagger knives, except not without that cheesy clip. And I'm sorry, the clip is cheesy. That skull, it's like screaming skull. It's a little eighth grade. But anyway, I'm a little eighth grade, so it should fit right in. All right, I want to show you this Sencut Bronte. Chris says, have no problems with Russians, just their government and ours. Exactly. That's pretty much how I feel about everywhere, like Canada. Love my Condor leather sheaths. Yeah, me too. And they can be reformed too, because I got the wrong leather. They sent me kind of a one size fits all leather sheath for my Hudson Bay, but indeed one size does not fit all. So I did soaked it in water and then pressed it in my Kydex press for a day and kind of remolded it. So really nice leather on those Condor sheaths. So this is the Sencut Bronte, and I was just taken by that blade shape in conjunction with that super neutral handle. I really like this knife, though it has problems. My particular version, my particular specimen has issues, and we'll talk about that in a second. But what I like about this, very thin, slicey blade, full height, flat grind, very acute point, sharp, slicey. I love the way it looks from this angle when you're looking at the front and you see that fuller. This thing is awesome. It can be opened with the front flipper, or it can be opened with a little bit of wrist and that fuller. And this is where we come to it. The action on this is not as smooth as my Civivi's. Sencut, as we know, is a budget line from Civivi. So it is to Civivi what Civivi is to we. And I was expecting this to be fall shutty, and it is nowhere near fall shutty. I have taken this apart, and it was so new, there was no reason to take it apart. It's not like any pocket lint or anything got in it, because I hadn't had it long enough. But I figured maybe some grit from the manufacturing process or something like that was in there, but no. And I put it back together, and it's fine. I think it'll just be a matter of breaking it in. Maybe the surface treatment of the blade somehow is impeding it or something. But look, it's very, like, it definitely takes a bit of pressure to get it closed. Okay, first world problems. But since we're all used to a certain level of action at this point, especially from Civivi, I expected this to be a little bit different, but it doesn't matter because it really looks cool. And that action bit is, to quote Nuttin' Fancy, that is way second kind of cool. To him, he had two kinds of cool. First cool is utilitarian. How well does this thing work for what it's supposed to do? Second kind of cool is how I'm governed primarily, which is how cool does it look? How good does it feel? How fun is it to play with? All the non-essential cool factors. This has second kind of cool in spades, but also first kind of cool. It's very, very handy. This is it looks great, but it's also a really good utility knife so far. I've had it for 3 days so far, and I've had it with me at work a lot, and I've used it a lot. The tip is great for this sort of draw cut or utility cut, opening boxes, carving out, shaping pieces of paper, cutting things out, what have you. But it also has a very nice blade for paper, I mean, not paper, but cardboard cutting. And I find that knives that are really good for cardboard cutting are also really good at sharpening pencils, which this also is. It's 9CR and it sharpens up really nicely, but 9CR 18 MOV, I think it is a steel much an order of magnitude better than 8CR 13. And of course, I'm saying order of magnitude in a loose way, but it's supposed to be much better, even though it sounds very similar. But in any case, I have plenty of 8CR 13 MOV, and it works fine. But this is not that. And anyway, I dig this Sencut Bronte. I know Dave, this old sword blade reviews, just got one, and his is in the black blade with the I think it's black. Anyway, he's got the JG10. It looks cool in that too, man. I really like it. Okay, up next, what else have I gotten recently? Well, it started by following what's his name now? Dagnabbit, a French knife maker who what's his name? It just Condor knives have great sheaths in my experience. Well, anyway, his name will come to me, but he does his own custom knives, some really cool self-defense Pikal style knives and that kind of thing, but also some outdoors and fighting knives. And he teamed up with someone else to make a company called Station 9. Nice Condor, says 1 Minute Knife Review. Thank you, sir. He teamed up with someone to make this company Station 9, and their whole deal is looking at the World War II resistance and some of the weapons, not only the resistance, but also the OSS and some of the weapons that were big during that era. Some based on improvisation, or some based on necessity, for spies to be discreet, and others just sort of cool knives and melee weapons. So I'm going to show you what I got from them. But before I do, On the Edge 72 says, on the subject of Russian knives, I just sold 2 Shirogorov knives yesterday, Quantum and F3NS, and it had nothing to do with the war. Both knives are top-notch quality. I just needed some cash. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And I'm getting the feeling that's how most of us feel. It's like, we're all just kind of enjoying this hobby, enjoying this world. It's not a hobby for everyone. It's a living for a lot of people. And just enjoying this go on. And then these international events happen, and are we supposed to suddenly not respect and support one another because we have people above us ruining things? Hollywood Tactical says, Condor fixed blade, high carbon steel, micarta scales, high quality leather sheaths, also good wood handles too. How are they not more popular? Yes, I've heard their QC can be spotty, but I've had great luck thus far. I like them a lot too. A lot of people, that space is taken up by a lot of other people, that fixed blade space. It looks like we have a couple of people here that want to jump in. It looks like we have Brant and the professor. So we'll bring them in and say hi. Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up?
Hey, good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
What's up, Professor?
How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Outstanding. Hey, let me. I'm going to ask you what you guys were carrying, but before we get there, let me just show these off because I've left everyone on tenterhooks. What is he going to show? Okay, so these are from Station 9, and these are things that are based on, like I said, some World War II resistance weapons and OSS weapons. First thing I have is a pair of knuckle dusters. They're cast aluminum, and they have these little be good nubbins on them. And this thing is, yeah. I also have McNeese McNucks, but I'll bring those out in a second. These are the Station 9 knuckle dusters, and they're the number 3. All of their implements have numbers to them. This is their number 3. And you wondered, or I did, looking at this, how is this going to be as a knuckle duster without that piece that fits in the palm? And it's awesome. It's excellent, especially with gloves, because my hands are not as big as whoever these were formed for. So with gloves, this feels even better. And of course, I've been walking around hitting things, and it's not always very comfortable with brass knuckles. So it's better to have gloves on, I think, when you're doing that. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I bought from them is this little. This is the number 4, and it's a lapel dagger, just like the OSS. That's the precursor of the CIA that was created in World War II. They would carry these little things in not kydex but leather sheaths, and they'd be sewn on the back of their lapels of their jackets, so they could, in a pinch, have a blade they could draw and bring to bear in a spy-like situation. What do you think of those guys, huh?
Pretty cool.
I like the historical tie-in to them.
Yeah, they kind of do look kind of have that.
That's always like, well, at least for me as well, it's always an interesting factor, the historical part of a knife or a folder. It's always nice when a story goes with any blade.
Yeah, they used to say that's how they sold organic food when organic foods first became a thing, and they were really expensive. Well, they're like, how are we going to sell all this organic food that's too expensive, And then they say, oh, we'll write stories about the cows, who make this milk. These cows, listen to Joni Mitchell in the morning, and they get massaged in the afternoon, and they eat, barley or whatever it is. And then they write this story, and then people are like, well, I want to support these cows. I'll pay $6 for milk.
That's a great sales pitch.
Yeah. I have a problem. It's not too many knives. It's too few hands, says 1 Minute Knife Review. That's funny, man. So Brant, what were you carrying today, sir?
Carrying the 3-inch Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good knife for small tasks.
See, I didn't know that they made a 3-inch Eclipse. Is this a new thing for them?
No, they came out in probably 2020 or 2019, somewhere around there.
I gotcha.
And I do want to say this, there, Bob. I met Ben from Jack Wolf Knives.
Oh yeah, you met him in person. I saw the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's a great guy.
He is. And also, I may be getting a sharpshooter jack pretty soon.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I got one on the way too. I am very much looking forward to that sucker. Oh, God.
And also, I also met attention to detail too.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's right. I saw that picture too.
I met him, and he's making me something nice.
Oh, God, that's awesome. Yeah, I dig his knives a lot, and he's a cool guy.
And I met Jim Skeleton, which that was cool too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm excited when I talk about it.
No, that's great. Did you buy any knives? This is Texas Blade Show you're talking about?
The only one I bought was an Avant.
Oh, from Luft Concepts? Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I got number 14. It was an exclusive for that show, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I would like to get one. Someone was just Stasa was showing his off in a video today, and he has the black with the tan micarta. It looks so nice. So what about you, Professor? What were you carrying today, sir?
I think you're gonna like this one. It's a case when they were made very well.
Is that a Zulu?
I don't remember the model on this one, but it's a mid-lock, and it's so perfectly made that it's kind of disappointing, because I've gotten a few in the past 2 years, and the quality is really not the same from 5 years ago to more recent models, and I hope they fix that, because they are. I love traditionals, and this is one of my favorites.
Wait! Before you put that down, Professor, let me ask you a question about it. Is that the CV steel?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I have noticed with case knives, two things. They make their most collectible knives, meaning the knives with all of the the seasonal covers and the unique annual covers, the handle covers and the ones that they do a lot of variation on. It's always the stainless steel, and those always seem to be a little catch as catch can. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but they have a very limited amount of chrome vanadium lines. They only have 3 or 4 lines in a given year of knives that they're making with that chrome vanadium steel, and those knives always seem to be higher quality to me.
Yeah, this is just spot on. I mean, everything about it is nice, and the lockup is perfect. So it's just a fantastic traditional. I love it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very simple lines, a simple geometry, a very traditional geometry, and I just love that simpleness, if you will.
Right. Hey, this is one you'll relate to, Professor. Mr. Fileto says, "Here's hoping my CKF Evo 3.0 doesn't get hindered, and my TS Prof Blitz 360 makes it to me in a timely manner." You have that Evo, don't you?
I have it in the channel, and oh man, I love the geometry on that thing. It's really special.
Beautiful knife too, just beautiful.
Yeah, very from some time ago to now, I've been paying more and more attention to design. As I have also started designing, well, drawing and just trying out in pieces of wood, and I have a collection of old machetes, which I'm thinking perhaps I will try those designs in those machetes at some point.
What do you mean by that? You mean cutting, like making your knife designs out of old machetes?
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. To reclaim the steel, what will you do? Anneal the steel? Heat it up so that you could work on it, and then when you're done, reheat treat it or something like that?
Well, I'm thinking of doing all the cutting work, and then sending it off to a knife maker that I know here for the heat treatment.
Oh yeah.
And then we go about the scales. So in a way, I want to perhaps at some point in the near future start getting involved in that way, in designing.
Yeah.
But the other day, a sub asked me, because I showed in a live in Instagram, I showed this knife, and they said, Professor, why would you buy a CRKT that has been in the market for a long time, and that is, well, basically, it's a budget knife? And I told them, because it's a fantastic design. I love, this is the CRKT Hootenanny. And I was just surprised by the design of this thing. This is by Ken Onion, and it's such a comfortable. Now, it has only one flaw, and that is this pointy clip.
Yeah, it's placed a little high on the handle there, huh?
Yeah, and it's bothersome when you're moving around, and that sticks out. It's a bit bothersome, and it also kind of creates a hotspot. But I really enjoy this design. Hollow grind, kind of a Nesmucky flow, and it's an old model, and yet it's so not outdated.
That knife came out under a cloud. Do you remember this? It was a they when that knife first came out, the Hootenanny, it came out. I don't remember what the steel was. What's the steel on that?
This is.
It's not 8CR, I don't think.
It's 14 NC 20. It's 14.
14. Well, whatever it was, it came when it first came out. It was a very stainless steel, but everyone's were rusting, and they determined that they just kind of put the wrong steel on there.
It's a K300 XHP.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, so I would let it patina. I would that'd be kind of a cool thing. Max the Maker says, just got back from the Twin Cities. I carried the MKM Asanzo. I like that, and used it to open a box of baklava. I like that even better. I love baklava. Nice carry. Is that the Luft concepts you got right there?
That is the number 14.
Number 14. Yeah, that's the. I really like that setup in particular with that black blade. That is such a thin blade on that knife. Actually, if I were to get that, I would get it with the. I'm a big sucker for the Riot machine satin. I love the way it looks. And
I saw that one down there too. I was liking it, but this one would be a good beater knife. But it's just sitting in the little case it came in, and I never carry it because I love hinders.
Yeah. Check this out. Kevin says, this is how I sleep, knowing my knives are made in Russia or China. He sleeps very soundly. I don't think it bothers him at all. Hey, oh yeah, Bearded Gear. So he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have your Project X near to you? And do you want to sell that to me?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I could.
If I sold it, I would do $2,000 for it.
Okay, that doesn't mean you had to put it away. I can't reach through the screen and grab it out here.
It's my precious.
Yes, mine. Shane says, I made the personal choice not to purchase knives from Russia or China, but it's my choice, and I don't judge those that do. Yeah, that's. Hang on, I don't know what to do. Talk about Shane or look at that dazzling knife. We'll talk about the knife in a second. Yeah, Shane, I'm with you, man. It is a personal choice, and I personally have vacillated. There was a period of time not that long ago where I was talking on this show and on the supplemental. Oh, I think I'm veering towards all American made, and that's kind of all I'm interested in now. And that changed back. Like
Good, Bob.
I rarely just settle into one thing, but I conceptually, I'm with Shane. Conceptually, not in practice. But when I say conceptually, I'm with Shane. I mean, when I think about how and where my iPhone was made and how much bloody time I spend on it, that also kind of makes me a little uneasy. And then I think, oh, it's a necessary evil. I have to have one. Do I? Well, kind of. Yes, I do for my work. But does it have to be this in particular with the Knife Junkie sticker on it? No, it doesn't. But good luck finding an American-made cell phone. That's the only. But I think what Shane is probably getting at is these are all luxury items. These are things that we don't need, and for something that is unnecessary that we don't need. Perhaps one's conscience or Shane's conscience is clearer, or it's just more aligned with his ethics not to get those. And I appreciate that too.
I think talking about that subject, it's everyone is entitled to their opinion, right? In particular, I think that, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but we got to be very careful because they should be very informed opinions. If you see the news right now, I watch around 12 different news channels from around the world in different languages, and it's incredible, just incredible, the percentage of propaganda that they are using from one side or the other side. Mm-hmm. And so I totally agree with what most of the people were writing. politics aside, we are a knife community, and we should support each other. And we may not agree with our own government. We may not agree with other governments because they have their own interests and hidden agendas. We know that. We know that.
Yeah.
But I think that the heart of and the brains, the true brains of humanity are in the people, which in the end, the people are the ones that are suffering. And right now, talking about Ukraine. And of course, this is going to affect Europeans. My parents live in Belgium, and it is affecting their budget, and it's affecting. I have friends in Russia, and it's affecting their wallets. And so, who is suffering from all of these? People.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. Yeah, they're conscripting people. They're threatening to cut off Europe's oil like tomorrow. Jeez.
Yeah, the gas.
And I'm not laughing. I mean, that's Blame Dexter says, carrying my Para 3, planning on modding it with copper scales, bronze color hardware. Nice. Calling it my Big Daddy build after the Big Daddies from Bioshock. That's cool. Video game. The whole thing that you were saying, Professor, like that's the whole point of enthusiast communities like the knife community. I'm sure there are plenty of others, but like we get into this to transcend the bullshit of politics and to transcend the bullshit of everyday life. So to actually, obviously, like someone like Shane had a policy like this in place. Shane is not, this is not new for him. I just happened to know that, but, unless you already have that in place to just sort of take a look at what's happening on the news and then just decide. I think I lost my train of thought, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
1 Minute Knife Review says, have the Arcona Nettle F, nice, from Russia, and would totally buy it again. I have the Nettle. I don't know what the letter is, but it's not the F. I think the F is the one with the carbon fiber and the M390. I have the K110 and the blue micarta, and I love that thing. It's a front flipper to beat the band. I love that thing. Sharp and Stabby says, I have a couple of Russian knives from Legion USA out of Florida, I believe. They carry some knives I haven't seen elsewhere. Cool. All right, let's can we go wide on Brant for a second? I want to see this thing here. Oh God. The milling on that side. Yeah, I do just love it. So stop rubbing it in my face, but rub it in my face. I love it. All right, can I see? Let me see Neves. Let me see Jared's comment. Jim, please. Jared says, someone we know was trying to get knives from Roost Blades, and they wouldn't take regular payment without it being almost double. They were wanting a different kind of payment. Oh, probably in rubles. They're now asking, or not asking, part of their demand to the rest of Western Europe, who's addicted to their oil, is you got to buy our oil in rubles now. So you got to open up. It's not just that. They have to open up Russian bank accounts and pay in rubles. So maybe that's what was happening with Roost Blades there. That's crazy. Kevin Moore, thank you, man. Enjoyed the Brown and the Brian Brown and the daggers. Great content as always. Thanks, Bob and Jim. Well, thank you, Kevin Moore. Yeah, Brian Brown, man, he's awesome. And I have those knives that he loaned to me, and they've been in a box ready to send for 3 days now. And I'm lamenting the fact that I packaged them up 3 days ago, because I could have been using them or fiddling with them, playing with them between then and now. I have to send them tomorrow. But anyway, Brian Brown and daggers, thank you. I appreciate it. So let me see. Do I have a dagger here? No daggers out and about to salute you with. So this is an interesting one. Have I done? I may have used this. Doesn't matter. This is the Cold Steel Sword Breaker. It's based on a Japanese knife that was, I know I've used this before because I remember explaining it. Used to shatter blades with this triangular shaped blade with those oblique edges. Great for splitting skin if you hit it really hard, but really this is a thruster if you're using it to do things other than break brittle steel blades. So Kevin Moore, this one's for you, sir. Stab my mic. This one's for you. Look at that. That thing is cool. My brother got this for me. He's gotten me so many cool knives. And here's something that's awesome. I think there's going to be something new. There are 2 new things going up on the wall behind me. One, my parents are coming to visit, and with them bringing my brother's Christmas present to me, which he has assured me is something awesome that will go on the wall behind me. And then there's this, which I've had for years in my bedroom, which is moving to the wall behind me, that my wife got me. And it's a really cool old Japanese Wakazashi.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's got green ray skin and some really cool and somewhat body sculptural elements there with the 2-backed beast, a man and woman engaged in coitus, embracing passionately on my sheath. It's a weird sword, but I love it. And
that's what the women used to carry back in those days.
Oh yeah, so did the manly men.
So yes.
I'm just kidding. Right next to so this was their middle. They had this, and then the katana, and then the Tanto, right?
Tanto, yeah.
That's a lot of hardware to walk around with.
It is.
But that's nothing we don't do already. Ooh, I know what this is.
That's my custom hinder, which I'm very, very proud of.
Hang on, before we get to that, Ninth Chamber says something good here. Neve's knives, they probably wanted Bitcoin. Credit card options have been canceled. Yeah, that's probably it, because they also probably know it's probably not the easiest thing for people to get rubles, but and they're not worth much. Yoda says Ninth Chamber, they wanted guaranteed US dollar funds since the Russian ruble is worth nothing now. So let me see that custom. Hold that sucker up. This is a custom from like XM days, right?
Yeah, this is from 96. At
Beautiful.
least 96, or 95, because Rick made 26 of these at the Western, what was it, convention something? Western something. But yeah, 20th anniversary, and there were only 26 of them. He has 2 of them. He has 21 and 22. I have 26.
Oh, nice. The last one, probably the most perfect, because by the time he got to the 26th out of 26th, he had, look at that white bone. Oh, that's nice, man. God, that's gorgeous, dude.
I mean, the blade itself is beyond, like, it's hand forged by Rick himself. I mean, that's what it is.
You're living the good life, Brant. Jeez, man, that's cool. I know that. I mean, I think it's really cool that you're I don't know, you're a friend of the hinderers, and that's cool, because I mean, that's how you were able to get that. I don't know. I think you talk about Patina Turner. I'm not sure where he is, but I was showing off his cool things that he made for me. Unless you're asking where's the patina on that knife, but I don't think that's what you're asking. All right, what do you got in your hand there, Professor? I see you flipping something
that you still haven't gotten, and you still doubt about it, and it's just fantastic.
Oh, so funny. So funny you should say that, because I've been recently like, yeah, man, I should get one of these. The thing that's held me back is the holes in the blade.
I originally I don't like holes in the blade as well, but when you look at the whole thing, at the folder as a whole, this looks like a Viking ship.
Oh yeah,
it kind of does.
And the holes, well, you can see the holes. Well, like the shields they stuck
all right.
right, and where the dragon head would go,
Yeah.
you know. And so just looking at it, it's not, you know, just your average folder, but there is sense in everything this knife has, and it has amazed me. I got this because of Dirk Werning.
Yeah. He's bad. He's got a
He's got all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got quite the complete collection of those.
Yeah,
Hey,
and the custom ones. Have you seen the custom ones? They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Hey,
and they are like $3,500. So totally.
I better get two, you know, just in case I lose one. hey Brent, Nick EDCer wants to know what you think about the ZT-0562.
Isn't that
that's the one that's like the slicer blade.
Yeah, it's not bad. I own one, but it's not compared to the real deal slicer grind. I mean, it's not the real deal, but it's nice. I carried it for maybe like a year, and then I'm not a fan of it, but it is a collaboration in which I do complete it with my other hinders. But it's nice. It's smooth, but it's just not the hinder I would probably get if it was a real deal one. I would buy it, but yeah,
I do need a slicer grind in my life.
If you,
Robert,
to say one thing, I think that one of the things that I've always heard in YouTube channels was this comparison between the 0562 and the XM18.
Right.
And the more I have this knife, the more I notice it's a beast of its own.
Mm-hmm.
I love my XM18, but I cannot compare the XM18 to the zero tolerance 0562.
Different models. They have similar profiles, but they're totally different.
They do.
Hang on a second, Jim. Put that last comment up, please.
You can say it has the genetics of you know.
Yeah, the genetics.
It has the ADN, the DNA, DNA of being a hinderer, but that's it. It's a piece of its own. It's like having different sons from the same father, you know.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. They look similar. Robert Randall, good to have you here, Robert. Two names I approve of, by the way, Robert and Randall. So my anti-CCP knives comment was removed. Saddening that you, like so many other reviewers and people in the knife community, continue to choose to remain ignorant. Oh, Robert, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, Robert. I haven't removed. I haven't. Well, wait, hang on. I have not removed any comments. It is true that I frequently don't respond to comments because frequently I don't get to that. But I did not remove any CCP knives comments. Maybe our overlords, maybe our moral betters that run YouTube did, but 'twasn't me, sir. I haven't bought a Chinese knife this year, and I will try my best not to. They truly are taking over the knife game. Not to mention the rest of the world. Dom Bond, good to have you here, by the way, sir. Hollywood Tactical says we all cradle our ball sacks with China-made panties. So I manufacture clothing in the USA, he says. Okay. By the way, nothing nestles my nutsack. Sorry, no one needed to hear that. Chris's Stanks says, in a perfect world, only American knives would appeal to me. Yeah. I mean, oh man, it's a gathering of eagles.
Oh man, here we go.
Hey Hollywood, what's up?
This is how you Californians roll. You show up 10 minutes before the end of the show. All right, man. So how are you? What's going on with you, sir?
Oh, I was just going to chime in with the whole shall we buy Russian knives? I would mostly just be sort of re-emphasizing something that Professor mentioned, just the whole problem itself with sanctions regimes. We know we have a lot of evidence now on what sanction regimes do. And generally speaking, the big problem with sanctions is we typically proscribe them against societies that are not receptive to the suffering of the people. Sanctions always hurt people at the bottom. They are not going to hurt Saddam Hussein and his cronies. They're not going to hurt Putin and his oligarch buddies. It's going to be the common Russian people, the common Iraqi citizens. These are the people who suffer. So, I mean, to suggest that we as citizens also jump on the jingoist bandwagon and start boycotting goods from these societies, I think is ill. I think it's just allowing ourselves to be victimized by propaganda. Basically, what Professor was saying.
Not to mention the fact that I think it's based on a disingenuous and very unrealistic idea that, oh, well, if we put pressure on the population will put pressure on their leaders. But if their leaders already keep them under the boot, that's not happening,
And one worst
right,
thing.
That's kind of what I was saying.
Going on. Sorry, Hollywood. Is this Russian phobia that is forming around the world? Russian people have been attacked in different countries because of all of this management of propaganda, and innocent people, whether they are Russian, that's just absurd, to generate hate towards any race, any people, culture. Generating hate is not the solution to anything.
You guys are killing me with your audio. Oh, suddenly it's better. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Like it's not only that, but to do something like that is a little too on the nose for something that can be seen or can be viewed as a weapon. Nomadic Ways says Tomahawks are part of the Slavic culture. Different steel types. Yes, you know what? There are like a couple of Eastern European and Russian axe makers that I follow on Instagram that make these exquisitely ornate and beautifully. I don't know what the steel is, but it's kind of Damascus looking. I'm not sure if it is. Oh, Hollywood Tactical, you need to put a battery in your smoke detector.
Man in YouTube and in Instagram, axes and knives.
Oh yeah, yes. All right. Hang on one second here. All right, okay. Let me ask you this, Blade Stuff. Got to check out, fellas. Great show as always. Hope to catch you next week. Thanks, Bob and Jim. Blade Stuff. Before you go, thank you. Let me show you something cool. All right. Oh, no, this is even cool. So someone mentioned we're talking about tomahawks. I'll keep this on the tomahawk tip. All right, so this is for you, Blade Stuff. This is the Alan Elishowitz designed Hogue. Let's see. EXT01, I believe is what it is. And it is a light and facile tomahawk. You can kind of manipulate it like a blade in the way it's weighted, and it's got this beautiful bird beak and a long, almost fully encapsulating textured G10 handle with 5 bolts holding it on. Boom, 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 and this really cool hollowed out blade that fits nicely into a carry system that I have over there. So this Blade Stuff is for you. Have a fine evening and sleep well. Here you go. Thank you, sir. That is for you. And I like the way I can do this. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, putting this away. This sucker is like razor sharp too. I mean, it comes to a wickedly sharp edge. Your knife salutes are the best, Bob. No one else brings the hot sauce like you, sir. The hot sauce. I like that. Thank you. Who is causing the feedback? It's bad. It may have been Hollywood. I think he dipped. The guy with the headphones. It's the guy with the headphones. It should be the guy without the headphones causing the feedback, but this is pretty cool. But I don't know who it is. In any case, let me show you this thing real quick, Lee. I got this from a recent guest of the show, and I've wanted one of these forever. Good night, Buddha Flash. Take care, sir. A salute to you, sir. Check this out. This is the McNeese Knives McNucks. And oh yeah. I love these. So these are aluminum knucks that Jonathan McNeese makes.
Those
and
are nice.
He puts them out in limited batches, and they say be nice right up front, which I like. Be nice. And McNeese Knives. And again, like the other knucks I showed you, just a little bit large for my hands. I wouldn't mind getting, like, if I could get a medium in both of these, it'd be awesome. But they're comfortable with gloves. Now this one, the palm portion is squared off, and so I went outside and hit our heavy bag with this a few times, and it actually hurt my palm until I put a glove on and used it, and then it was fine. But these things are cool. Do you guys brass knuckles? Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think they're terrifically legal. They have to call them paperweights. But I don't know. What do you think? Knuckles? Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, I think those McNeese and the other the ones like that, and also RMJ knives.
Yes.
I even know I got to meet Rob Orlando, and got to hold the silver plated, actually solid silver knucks that was going to be sold, but I almost bought them. I almost bought it because I've always wanted a pair of knucks.
And those RMJ knucks are built to just shred with those opposing triangles. Oh,
I don't feel secure with knuckles. I trained when I was younger. I trained some boxing, and trained against wood and the wall, and so have pretty strong knuckles, natural knuckles, and using it just doesn't feel like secure, you know. It feels like might break.
Or it could wobble. It could. Oh wait, hang on. Robert Randall says, "My apologies. I've been avoiding YouTube for some time. Probably a good idea, Robert. And the discussion for this review caught my attention. No apologies necessary, sir. No apologies. But join us again next week, Thursday night. We do this every Thursday night at 10 p.m. and we get a good conversation going. And tonight, I got 3 of my favorite guys coming on to BS with me. Jim Skelton, nice. Don't leave without smashing that like button, folks, says Kevin Moore. And Kevin,
I can chime in on the brass knuckles.
What he's talking about. Yeah, let me hear it.
Oh, it's kind of a 50-50 thing. There's probably a very good chance you could seriously injure yourself using brass knuckles. It's probably, I mean, obviously, yeah, you can do a lot more damage to the other guy, but there's a darn good chance you're going to lose one of your primary weapons. Like if you're right-handed, there's a good chance you're going to take your right hand out of commission, which is why a lot of the traditional martial arts avoided punching to the face, because in a long-term fight, non-gloved, you probably were going to damage your weapons, and it wasn't a good idea. So you closed fist to the body, you open strike to the face. But you probably know about that, Bob. A lot of marks, I think.
Yeah, we've done a lot in Filipino martial arts. There's something called panantukan. It's their boxing. It's like dirty boxing, It's got a lot of it's all based on Western boxing, but there's a lot of sneaky elbows and punches to the arms, and you're dead legging, dead arming people with these weird punches and elbows and stuff. It's really cool fighting, but yeah, there is a lot of slapping where you kind of cup your hand and you just bam, and you can get the way they describe it is the impact of a slap on water, like get in a pool and slap the water and see what it does, see how it disrupts the surface, and then punch and see how it disrupts the surface. And it both disrupt, and you don't want to be punched or slapped, but you can generate a tremendous amount of power with the whipping motion of a slap. And not for nothing, you can also I was trying to work in a joke there, but as we can see, slaps are effective. At least
are a common thing right now.
Getting people's
that's
attention.
the one comment I want to make. How come nobody wants to talk about the good form?
Jesus! He played Muhammad Ali. He should
preparing for the part of Ali did him some good. He had some. He developed. He delivered some decent power, some good form. I thought that's the thing no one wants to talk about.
I think it's a given, man. He's a privileged actor. He got to train with the best boxers, or whatever.
Also,
so,
if you're interested in UFC 34, UFC Japan with. Sorry, I think there's a delay. UFC Japan with some of the legends, Sakuraba, Vanderlei Silva, some of the legends, they all met at UFC 34. And if you look at the beginning, they say they set out the rules. No pressure point strikes, etc. No open hand strikes to the face or the head. That's part of UFC rules.
You would demolish someone with that. Oh, and we see, oh, that's nice, man. All right, guys, it's about time for me to wrap up. It's late over here on the East Coast. I'm glad you guys came. Thank you all for joining. And are you guys up for a quick knife fight or not?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. So you both get 1 minute. And who would like to? This is Russian knives versus Chinese knives.
I don't know either of them.
All right, Professor, you're Russian knives. Hollywood, you're Chinese knives. And I'm going to start. All right, Professor, you're up first, just because your Russian is first. In 5, 4, 3, 2. 1 minute begins now, sir.
All right, talking about Russian and Chinese knives. Both have matured, both have evolved. There's a lot to say on both sides, but one of the things that I think is most important, giving the advantage to the Russian knives, is the taste that the Russians have developed is something that is acquired through time, something that Chinese knives are still working on. Yeah, they have improved and they will continue to improve, but in matters of quality and good taste, I think Russian knives have that advantage.
Nicely done in 55 seconds, sir. All right, Hollywood Tactical, are you ready?
Let me know what I'm up.
Are you ready to go? Chinese knives. And
China produces 80. Yeah, China produces 80% of the cutlery for the whole world. One word, Riot. They're probably one of the top production companies in existence. They make knives of incredible quality. Let's take a look at innovation. Right now, the Chinese production companies are kicking butt with very interesting innovations with steel types, lock types, even aesthetics. They're willing to be to push the envelope in terms of knife designs. They're making American style Tantos now with 3 points, because 2 wasn't enough, right? So right now, China, their manufacturing capacity is through the stratosphere. I manufacture in the United States. I wish we would produce more knives here, but frankly, they're dominating manufacturing right now globally. Sadly, for better or for worse.
That was exactly 1 minute. You guys are pros. All right, guys. Well, thank you. That was awesome. Dom says Shiro, Chebrikov, etc. Wow, Chinese garbage is the worst. Man, well, some Russian knives I do know are made in China, but I know that's not what you were talking about. Nomadic Way says plus Russian knife plus Russian knives tips are designed to penetrate deep winter clothing, as they can be very cold in parts of Russia. I like that point. That's a good point. See what I did with the language. All right, everybody. That does it for this edition of Thursday Night Knives. Hinderer Collector, thank you, sir. Professor EDC, thank you, sir. Hollywood Tactical, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you guys, and I got all 3 of you in one show. Awesome.
It's a pleasure being here and watching and always trying to catch the show. I really enjoy it, and it makes my week, Bob.
Oh, thank you. Anytime, you're welcome. Please join us. And you all out there, please join us on Sunday for the we're going to be talking to custom knife and sword maker Dan Keffler. His stuff is so cool. And then next Wednesday for the midweek supplemental. So until then, I'm Bob DeMarco saying for Jim, working his magic behind the switcher, and these 3 fine gentlemen right here. Until next week, please, whatever happens, don't take dull for an answer.